Hey, horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty D. I'm a little late on this one, but at least it's on time for the 31 Days of Horror. Yes, I'm going to be reviewing the latest installment in the Conjuring Universe and the sequel to everyone's favorite demon nun. It is The Nun 2. Yes.
Don't fuck with them hoes.
Now, The Nun 2 is a 2023 American Gothic supernatural horror film. Is directed by Michael Chavis, is written by Ian Goldberg, Richard Nain, and Alika Cooper. I should say Akila Cooper. I'll get that name right. Now the film stars Thaisa Farminga, Jonas Boquette, Storm Reed, Anna Popplewell, and Bonnie Aarons. Now, in this film, it's 1956 France. A priest is murdered and evil is spreading. The sequel to the worldwide smash hit follows Sister Irene as she once again comes face to face with Valak, the demon nun. Now, horror fans, when the demon nun known as Valak first appeared in The Conjuring 2, she had the same effect that Annabelle had in the first one. Everyone said, wow, this is fantastic. We got a real scary demon here, just like Annabelle scared the crap out of everyone in the first Conjuring film. So it was no surprise that Warner Brothers, along with franchise creator James Wan, decided to give Valak her own film, just like Annabelle, thus establishing the Conjuring universe. Now, The Nun, released in 2018, was praised for its gothic atmosphere and acting, but was criticized for its logic. And of course, I myself felt as though the terrible CGI effects that took place in the third act took away what was a very promising and decent entry into the Conjuring universe. Now, the film did gross over 356 million worldwide on a $22 million budget, so the film was a box office success. So it should be no surprise when it was announced that a sequel for The Nun was greenlit, and now from American filmmaker Michael Chavis. It is the latest entry into the Conjuring universe. It is The Nun 2. Now, taking place 4 years after the events in the first film, we see that Sister Irene is now at a convent in Italy, and a good friend Frenchie or Maurice is now working at a boarding school for girls in France. Now, meanwhile, it seems like Valak is murdering people around Europe, which brings the cardinal to Sister Irene's convent and tells her that she needs to start an investigation to find and put an end to Valak's reign of terror. It's because she succeeded in putting an end to Valak in the first film, but unfortunately, we all know how that ended. Now, can Sister Irene, along with novice Sister Deborah, stop Valak's reign of terror and save Maurice's soul? Well, that's kind of what the film is about. No, you really have to give credit to Michael Chavez and the filmmakers that they once again created a very dark, gothic-like feel, which is the type of atmosphere you need for this movie like this. Just like how they did in the first film. The first film is a little bit more gothic because it's out in the middle of nowhere. Here, it takes place in Italy and France, but it still has that gothic atmosphere in it. So you really got to give Michael and the rest of the filmmakers credit of how dark and eerie this film looks. From the opening scenes to the dark sections of the boarding house and other areas in this film, you get a sense that Valak's presence is everywhere. It is during those scenes that adds the tension and suspense that you need for a film like this because you never know when Valak is going to make her presence felt. So I really like how they kept the tension up, they kept the suspense up because every time you're in a dark area or a very creepy looking place, is Valak going to appear or not? So it keeps everyone on their toes. I also like the fact that Michael doesn't use cheap jump scares, somewhat that we saw a little bit in the first film, as the film relies more on character development, so the audience cares what happens to, I would say, the two main characters, and that's Sophie Maurice and Sophie's mother, Kate. That's because all the actors did a wonderful job. As they take Ian Richards and Akila's script to bring it life to all the characters. They did a fantastic job in bringing all the life to the characters. You care what happens to everybody, even some of the girls that we see in the film. We care about what happens to them, and you really got to give credit. They did all the actors did a fantastic job with the script that they were given. I like the interaction Maurice has with Kate and Anne as they have great bonding scenes, especially when Sophia is being bullied by the older girls in the school. He kind of takes Sophia under his wing, and she reciprocates that. It looks like she's trying to get Kate and Maurice to get together. Some of the action, so that's real great acting and real great line delivery, and that really brings up the characters in the film and the fact that you now start to care what's happened to all the characters. Just like her older sister Vera Farmiga, Thaisa Farmiga is wonderful as Sister Irene. She's grown since her encounter with Valek and offers excellent advice to the novice sister Deborah when it comes to her lack of faith. I think they actually have a nice interaction in the beginning of the film. Now, while she doesn't appear as much as she did in the first film, Bonnie Eris is still creepy and frightening as Valak, and I like the small backstory that they gave her and the origin, and of course, the reason why she's on this murderous spree. There's a reason why she's doing it. I mean, she's just doing it because she's just evil. She is a demon, but there's a real reason why she is. Now, the only problem that I do have with the film is the ending, which means they might have retconned the events that happened at the end of the first film and the events that take place in the first two Conjuring movies. Now, I don't know why they did that. I don't know if the writers didn't know the type of story that they have with the Conjuring. It could be that they didn't know, or they could be retconning. I don't know, but that's the only problem that I have. Now, for me, it'll be interesting to see what direction they do take with Ed and Lorraine Warren based what happens at the end of this film. I won't say what it is, but it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen to Ed and Lorraine Warren because I'm pretty sure that we're going to get another film with Patrick Stewart and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now, since this film has grossed over 233 million worldwide, I'm sure that we'll be getting a third film in the franchise, just like we got a third Annabelle film. I haven't heard anything yet, but it wouldn't surprise me that we're probably going to get a Nun 3. So we have another decent entry into the Conjuring universe. Definitely an improvement over the first film, where we have a better script, we have decent acting from all the performers, and a better third act that doesn't have those horrible CGI effects that we all saw in the first film. Yes, there are some CGI, but it looks more believable as opposed to what we got in the first film. So I'm going to give The Nun 2 4 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. I thought about giving it 3, but I really didn't enjoy the film so much. I'm going to give it 4 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. This is another excellent entry into the Conjuring franchises. Just like with Annabelle Creations, the Nun 2 is a vast improvement over the first Nun, and I'm going to be looking forward to see what they're going to do with this character, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a Nun 3. So there you have it, my horror fans. That's my video and review of The Nun 2. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share, because it really does help out that YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember that horror rules. Now, see you in my next video. Guys, stay safe out there.